All right, so today we talk about one of the biggest drivers to this program that we've ever had, and that is how to private label. How do you make your product so that it is your own self-branded product that no one else will sell and is very unlikely to sell? Now, let me start by saying the tips that I'm going to share with you do not physically stop someone from selling your product. There are going to be cons and scammers and copycats and losers out there who are going to be jealous of how well you're doing, and they're going to try to copy you and sell your product. It does happen at some point to everyone. What I'm going to share with you will decrease the chance of that happening and make it very difficult for them. It's also going to keep you ahead of the game. So as soon as they think they've caught up with you, boom, you have something else better that you came out with, or you differentiate yourself in a new way. So these aren't like some magical pill. They're techniques that work. I've had many people try to copy my products, and every single one I've been able to get removed 100%. Private labeling simply means it's your label, it's your brand. And that has legal ramifications and practical ramifications, as well as Amazon policy ramifications. The first, most simple, basic way to do this, especially if you're starting out, is in the title, you're going to say by your company name. That's it. So let's say you're selling, nail clippers by Clip Central, or whatever your company brand name is. That discourages other people from doing it because it's uniquely your brand. Doesn't guarantee they won't, but it discourages them. Now, you can also add a logo to one of your photos. Put the logo on one of your pictures. So you have 9 different pictures you can fill out. You got your featured photo, you have your next 6 photos, and then you have your remaining 2 photos that are not typically seen. Make sure it's not the first photo, but make sure it's not the last 2. Make sure it's one in between, one of those next 6 after the featured photo. That way, if someone tries to sell your listing, you can say, hey, you can't sell this. You don't have our logo. There's no way you have our logo. This is our logo. You can't do that. That's the easiest, most least expensive, least effective, but still helpful way to do that. Let me just show you a really quick, simple example. So for example, if I'm going to add a new product, I go to create new product listing. Let's say my product is in health and personal care, diet, nutrition, aroma diffusers, bam. Okay, when I create my product in the title under vital info, if my product is in aroma diffuser, I'm going to say by health innovations. This by health innovations is my logo brand company name. And then when you get to the images, not the featured photo, but one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one of these photos right here, because remember, you can't see these 2 photos when you go to a listing. You actually have to click on the photo slideshow to see them. So one of these 6 right here needs to be a picture of my logo. That's the fastest, easiest, first level of private labeling your product. You need to get your logo, get it soon, keep it simple, make sure it's generic enough where it could apply to different categories. So for example, if you're selling in sports and fitness and you later move on to science and industrial, get a generic logo that would apply to both to save you time. Keeps it simple as well. Second level, you include it in your title. You include the logo in the name in your title of your company name. You include a picture of your logo in the photos. But the other thing you add is on the packaging itself. Now, I gave you this example in an earlier video. We use sticker mule, like the horse donkey thing. We order stickers from them. And this is just a thank you sticker. It's not an actual logo, but we also do this for our logos. And you can take the sticker off and put it on the packaging of your product. It actually looks really good. It does not look cheesy at all. So if you put the logo on the packaging of your product, you are again differentiating yourself. If someone tries to sell your product, you can say, look, you don't have our packaging, you don't have our logo, you can't sell it. Most of the time, that will remove people and cause them to no longer try to sell your product. Now, if you don't want to do the sticker route and you actually want your supplier to print the logo on the packaging, usually they do not charge more for printing the logo. Often they'll charge for the packaging, but not the logo itself because they're very used to doing that. If you're selling clothing and you want a tag, like a clothing tag, and it's on that little, that brown cardboard looking tag with the rope twine kind of thing, it looks really cool. That's what we do for the clothing that we sell. That's the second level of private labeling your product. Now there's another level, and that is called accessorizing. Now, even though an accessory doesn't make it private labelable, when you add an accessory, which is differentiating, which we talked about. So for example, if you are selling a coffee mug and you add a serving spoon, okay, and someone's been selling these, but you add this, well, for them to sell what you're selling, they now have to go out and get this. And the more unique this is, the harder it's going to be. And you will ward off thousands of potential competitors because it's inconvenient. You're using the power of inconvenience to ward them off in the same way that you use convenience to get more buyers. That's another way you can help private label your item. Remember, this is so key. If you are selling a product such as a drum head for a bass drum or a tom, and you're trying to differentiate it, and you include instructions or tips on how to use the drum, no one else has that information. No one else can sell your product. They're breaking universal law, galactical law by doing that. So if you include something that personal, that's another accessory, but it's super personal because it's something you wrote that came from your brain. You're really protecting yourself at a high level. That's another way you can private label. Next, this is the hardest, but it is the most powerful. You can take it to a legal level by trademarking it. Go to trademark.com and you can sign up for a trademark. What is a trademark? It is copyrights to an actual symbol. It's an actual physical symbol. It's not a patent. A patent is on something that was invented, but we're talking about a symbol. So your logo is your symbol. Make sure no one else has a similar looking symbol in that industry, and you're good. That's it. You can search for other trademarks, make sure there's nothing close to yours, and then go register. It costs money. It takes time. It can take months. You may even have to get a lawyer to get it processed through. But once you do it, when your company is doing millions a month, it's worth it because you do not want someone else trying to sell your product. And if they do, you can just send them your lawyer after them, and it will scare off most people. You also need to get it trademarked internationally if you're going to be selling in other countries. So if you're in Europe, you want to sell in America, you need it international. If you're in Mexico, you want to sell in Canada, same idea. Now, again, if you're just starting out, I would not worry about the trademarking. I would take these other strategies I gave you. Again, I'll go over them. Put it in the name of your company in the title. Make one of your photos have the logo. Better yet, put the logo on your packaging or your product using either a sticker from stickermule.com. I love that company, by the way, or by having the supplier print the logo on the packaging itself. Add an accessory. The more unique the accessory it is, the better, especially if it's something that you personally created, like information on how to do something. And finally, you can trademark. Now, there's one more step in this process, really important. It gets ignored a lot that I want to share with you, and that is brand registry. Now, what does this mean? You're going to love brand registry. What brand registry means is you go to Amazon with your product. Here, let's use my special, amazing, epic serving spoon or mixing spoon. And you say, hey, Amazon, I own the brand on this product. I want to register it with Amazon. And the reason this is powerful is when you do this, no one else can edit your listing. Second, competitors have less power in slandering your listing. When you start doing really well, every now and then Amazon's going to send you a message and say, hey, we noticed that your product, someone questioned its authenticity. We need you to prove its authenticity. And then you have to go through hours of work in sending them all this information, supplier website, invoices, last sales. I mean, it can be a real pain in the butt. Well, when you are registered with the brand, that happens way less because you're already registered. And a lot of competitors give up trying to even compete with you. In fact, it's really cool because it gives you an opportunity to have certain brands that no one else can touch. Let me show you an example. Watch this, guys. Clothing, shoes, Amazon fashion, women. And I'm just going to keep narrowing down, niching down. Dresses, just keep niching down to the smallest category I can find. Now watch what happens. Casual dresses. On the left side, you're going to see something. Let's see. Aha, brand, bam. These have all been registered. They're either third-party vendors. They're either part of the vendor program, or they have been registered with Amazon. See that? So you can have your brand here. Look at this. Look at all these brands. And I know some of these are huge and some you've probably never heard of before because they're new sellers who just got that registered. And once you click on that brand, it only shows that brand. People are very discouraged from selling someone else's brand. Now, the other advantage to getting registered with Amazon's brand registry is you don't need a standard product ID like a UPC or an EAN. You can create those yourself and give it whatever code you want. It just gives you way more power. Now, again, this is not an absolute guarantee. No one else will sell your product, but it is another way to help save you time and scare off competitors who are jealous. And they should be, because you're going to be badass and amazing. In order to register for the brand registry, there are 3 things you need. Number 1, you need an image of your product, packaging with the branding on the packaging. So going back to this sticker example, it could be as simple as a sticker. And again, I know this sounds cheesy, but I believe in simplicity. This is how I started. You can do it too and make it happen. And I make insanely good money on Amazon. You can make this happen. So all you need is a sticker or the actual logo branded on the packaging. Send in the picture. Second, you need an image of the product with your branding visible on the product. Now, understandably, if your product is so tiny, even smaller than this, or maybe it's a consumable, you can't put the branding on the product. Amazon understands that. You don't always have to have that. But as a general rule, if it's larger, like, a candle, you need to have the logo on the candle, obviously. Third, you need a link that you provide to Amazon to an active website that displays your brand or your products. Now, this part throws a lot of people off. They're thinking, wait, are you telling me I have to go out and build an entire website just to do this? No, you can pay someone to do it. You can build one yourself on Shopify.com. You could do a really simple website. It doesn't have to be a fancy website. Just a simple website that shows your product, shows its cost, a simple mission statement. Look, I created a website in less than 4 hours. I know how to do it. It's not that hard. And I'm not an expert web developer. I'm a communicator and a coach and a seller and a businessman, not a web developer. But you can do it. Or just pay someone to do it for you. Once you have a website, it validates you own the brand. You are the manufacturer. No one has to go outside of you. Amazon doesn't have to say, show me your manufacturer information, because you are the manufacturer, see? Even if you're getting your product from a supplier in China, Hong Kong, or somewhere else, it doesn't matter. You are the last step, so to speak, as far as Amazon is concerned. Now, where do you go for that? Let me show you. I will include right here. It's sellercentral.amazon.com/brand/catalog-brand-application create. That is what you need right there. And when you go there, you just fill this out, you hit submit. And if you're doing a good job and you're following all the steps, there's no reason you would not get approved to do this, and it will help you in so many ways. All right. I just want to encourage you, if you've reached this video and come this far, you're doing awesome. Keep it up. When you get to a point where you're starting to private label your product, this part gets exciting, because now you're starting to build. It's like you're cutting out a little space for you in the earth that you're going to sell, and you're going to dominate that market, that area, that brand. You can make this happen. Keep it up. Do not give up. On days that you feel tired, discouraged, don't forget your dream. What was your dream? Why did you start doing this in the first place? Let that motivate you. Remember what you're doing it for and who you're doing it for. This is Seth Kniep'n it as real as I can. I'll see ya. Bye.